The number of infectious disease management institutions in the country has nearly halved over the past year amid concerns about new infectious diseases emerging after COVID-19.
코로나19 이후 새 감염병 유행에 대한 우려가 커지고 있는 가운데 국내 감염병 관리기관이 최근 1년 사이 절반 가까이 줄어든 것으로 나타났습니다.
Yeah, so these bodies, these institutions that deal with infectious diseases has been on a steady decline since the first quarter of 2022, when there were a little over 400, but now, as of the end of June last year, 2024, there are 159. So that's about a 42.6% drop. And that's sort of expected, especially since the threat of COVID-19 is waning. But there is a concern because there are other infectious diseases that might be spreading throughout the country.
Right. Well, what is an infectious disease?
Yeah, an infectious disease, an infection, it's an illness caused by the spread of little microorganisms like viruses, bacteria, parasites, and they can be passed from person to person or from animals to humans as well.
Yeah, absolutely. 자, 여기서 말하는 infectious는 전염성이 있다. disease는 질병. 그래서 전염병을요, 영어로는 infectious disease라고 합니다. 근데 이 infectious disease를 다루는 institution, 이런 감염병 관리 기관이 has nearly halved라고 했어요. 이 동사도 굉장히 중요한데요. halved, 반으로 줄어들었다라는 뜻이거든요. 근데 halved라고 하진 않죠. How do you say it?
Halved.
halved. 여기서도 L 안 들리고요.
Yeah, the L is silent.
저는 모음의 발음은 좀 다르지만 마찬가지로 L은 안 들리게 halved 이렇게 발음을 저는 하는데 여기 뭐 북미권 발음이든 영국식 발음이든 L 발음은 하지 않고 쓸 때는 반드시 넣어야 됩니다. Now, if something emerges, what does that mean?
Yeah, so if something emerges, it's coming out, it's arising or surfacing, right? The way I remember it is in Korean, 이 뭐지? And then you're surprised. You know, it becomes
이 뭐지? 이거 뭔가
Thank you for laughing, Sue.
I didn't get it at first.
Yeah.
이게 뭐지가 아니라 이제
이 뭐지?
emerge니까
And
이 뭐지? 좀 뒤늦게 왔어요.
Delayed
뒤늦게.
reaction.
네,
Yes.
죄송해요. 그렇게 외우라고. 그러니까 뭔가가 생겨났을 때,
Yeah.
뭔가 갑자기 뭐 부상하거나 뭔가 딱 나타났을 때 emerging 한다라고 하거든요. 근데 좀 놀라는 그런 이미지 같이 기억하시면 되겠습니다. Alright. 다시 한번 제가 읽어볼게요. The number of infectious disease management institutions in the country has nearly halved over the past year amid concerns about new infectious diseases emerging after COVID-19. Let's move on to the next headline.
The number of people in their 60s or older looking for jobs increased last year, despite a decline in all other age groups, according to data from the Korea Employment Information Service.
지난해 구직자 수가 60대 이상 연령대에서는 늘어났으나 이를 제외한 다른 모든 연령대에서는 감소한 것으로 나타났다고 한국고용정보원이 밝혔습니다.
Yeah, so there's a government-run employment website called WorkNet, and there were more than 4.5 million job applications that were posted on that website last year. And of that, people in their 20s accounted for more than 1 million, which is expected because people in their 20s are coming right out of university or college, and they're looking for their first jobs in a lot of cases. But the second largest age group were people in their 60s. Again, nearly 1 million job applications. And the number of these senior job seekers marked a 0.3% increase. And that's the only age group that saw an increase. And surprise, surprise, the reason for that, of course, Korea is an aging society. And also the number of seniors that want to continue working and are looking for employment is increasing, especially after their retirement
Yep,
from their regular careers.
그래요. 그러니까 구직자 수가 전반적으로 봤을 때는 1년 전에 비해서 5.3% 감소했는데 연령대별로 보게 되면은 60대 구직자들은 늘었습니다. 그 외에 모든 연령대는 구직자 수가 줄어든 모습이고요. 뭐 고령화 사회이다 보니까 어찌 보면은 예상됐던 그런 모습이네요. So we're talking about people looking for jobs.
Yeah, it's another way to say they're actively searching for employment.
Yeah.
They can do this in various ways, like you can go to this government website, you can send out resumes, you can go to job fairs, these fairs or exhibitions where recruiters come to find candidates to fill their positions. So it basically means a job hunt or to
Yeah.
conduct a job search.
Conduct a job search 또 마찬가지인데 구직 활동을 한다는 뜻으로 look for a job or looking for jobs 이렇게 표현할 수 있겠죠. 그래서 구직자가 people looking for jobs or people looking to get hired. There's lots of ways of saying it.
Sure.
자, 그다음에 age group.
Yeah, an age group, when you're doing polls or you're conducting studies, it's when you classify similar people based on similar age. In TV, oftentimes the 18 to 40 age group is a very prime target demographic for advertisers.
Exactly. What age group would you say we fall under? I think we're in the same age group.
I hope so. I consider myself Gen X.
Okay.
So, we're not in the 18 to 40 age group, unfortunately.
The next one above that.
Yes.
We're like, I don't know, 41 to
75.
Okay, well,
let's
we're
say.
definitely
we'll
in that
keep
one
it
then.
broad.
All right.
Yes.
그래요. 자, 연령대를 영어로 age group라고 표현할 수 있겠죠. You could probably even say age bracket.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, same thing. 그래요. 다시 한번 읽어보겠습니다. The number of people in their 60s or older looking for jobs increased last year despite a decline in all other age groups, according to data from the Korea Employment Information Service.
At least 13 people have died in floods in Argentina, where torrential rain displaced over 1,200 residents, left large areas without electricity, and destroyed roads and bridges.
아르헨티나에서 폭우로 인한 홍수로 지금까지 최소 13명의 사망자가 나왔습니다. 이번 비로 이재민은 1,200명 이상이 발생했으며 많은 지역에 전기가 끊기고 도로와 다리가 파괴된 것으로 전해졌습니다.
Yeah, so the brunt of this damage occurred in the southwestern part of the Buenos Aires province, a city called Bahia Blanca. It's a city with a population of just over 300,000, and they got more than 8 hours of non-stop rain there, 400 millimeters of it to be exact. And just to put it into perspective, the city normally in 1 year receives about 600, 650. So about 2/3 of their annual precipitation they received within this short time span. So you can imagine sort of the damage that they incurred.
Yeah. Well, the expression used here is torrential rain.
Yeah, torrential is usually used to describe something that's fluid or flowing, like
Yeah.
a liquid that's violent. A torrent is a violent or forceful flow of fluid. So if something's torrential, it's overflowing, such as rain.
Yeah, exactly. 그리고 보통 폭우라고 하는 거를 영어로 이렇게 torrential rain이라고 씁니다. torrential의 스펠링 알려드릴게요. Torrential. So there's a double R in there. Torrential rain. 자, 그다음에 displaced. A lot of people were displaced.
Yeah, if something's displaced, it's removed from its original position or
Yeah.
place. And in the case of people, that means they have to leave their homes.
Yeah.
Right? They've been forced to flee because, in this case, because of a natural disaster.
Yeah. Grammatically, the way it's used here is that the rain displaced 1,200 people.
Right.
So you can use it either way in the passive or in the active voice.
Right. That's a
But,
good point. A lot
yeah.
of times because the subject are the people that were
Yeah.
displaced. So the people were displaced by these torrential rains.
그렇죠. 이제 거기에 살던 사람들이 더 이상 그 집에 들어갈 수 없는 상황이 된 것을 이제 쫓겨났다라는 표현으로 여기서 말하고 있는데요. The people were displaced. 여기서 뭐라 그랬냐면 the torrential rain displaced 1,200 residents. 그래서 이재민이 발생했다는 얘기거든요. 이거를 영어식으로는 거의 항상 날씨를 주어로 놓고 의인화하는 것처럼 비가 사람들을 이제 뭐 쫓아냈다 이런 식으로 표현하죠. 영어식으로는.
Right. This is the tricky part of English,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So it depends on what you want to sort of put the emphasis
Emphasize,
on.
yeah.
So because the subject is always the emphasis. So
That's right.
if you want to say, how were the people displaced? The typhoon displaced the people. But if you want to say what happened after the typhoon, the people were displaced by the typhoon.
Great point.
Right.
자, displace가 이렇게 한 위치에서 다른 위치로 옮기게 됐을 때, 특히 이재민 발생했을 때는 뭐 X number of people were displaced,
Yeah.
or this displaced X number of people 이렇게 많이 씁니다.
And another example of displaced that's not used in this sort of weather phenomenon or natural disaster is in science. When you go into a bathtub, the water level rises, right? We call that displacing water. A floating object will displace water.
Who was the one that was in the tub and went Eureka or something? You know.
Newton?
No, I think it was someone else.
Einstein? I don't know.
Some Greek philosopher. Look,
Okay.
I'll get to
Much
that.
longer ago. Okay.
Anyway.
But you get the idea.
Yes, exactly. 그럴 때도 쓰는 표현이군요. 물의 수위가 이렇게 욕조에서 올라갔을 때. 자, 다시 한번 제가 읽어보겠습니다. At least 13 people have died in floods in Argentina, where torrential rain displaced over 1,200 residents, left large areas without electricity, and destroyed roads and bridges. All right, let's move on to the next headline.
An Australian tech company has unveiled the world's first biocomputer, a machine powered not by conventional silicon, but by human neurons grown in a laboratory.
호주의 한 스타트업이 세계 최초의 바이오 컴퓨터를 공개했습니다. 이 컴퓨터는 기존의 실리콘이 아니라 실험실에서 배양한 인간의 뇌신경 세포로 작동하는 것으로 알려졌습니다.
Yeah, so I'll be honest, I had to do a little research on this. I'm not a biocomputing expert, but to be more precise, this is the first commercial biocomputer that's been released at a cost of about $35,000 US dollars. But a biocomputer basically is a computer that's run not on conventional silicon chips, but are more they're a combination of these silicon chips with human-grown neurons.
Right.
And what the benefit of this is that they're more flexible and resilient, and it continuously grows and learns, adapting far faster and more efficiently than any current chip-based systems. So this is another breakthrough in technology.
It is, absolutely. Well, it's powered by human neurons.
So if something's powered by something, again, we have sort of the passive voice here. It's operated or driven by a specific sort of source of energy, right? Something's wind powered or solar powered. That means it's run by or given the force needed by either the sun or the wind.
Yeah, powered by A, 그러면 A에 의해서 움직인다. 이런 뜻이 되겠죠?
Right. Morning Special is powered by all our listeners and our fans.
Yeah, exactly. And if something's grown in a lab, what does that mean?
Yeah, another way to say this is something is lab grown,
Yeah.
which means it's been created or developed in a laboratory or basically a scientific environment. It's not naturally occurring.
실험실에서 만들어졌다, 배양됐다. 그래서 이거를 lab grown이라고 해도 되고요. grown in a lab 해도 되는데, 자, 이 실험실이라는 단어가 북미권에서 발음하는 거랑 영국에서 발음하는 게 조금 달라요. 선생님은 어떻게 발음하시죠?
Laboratory.
네, 북미권 발음이고요. laboratory, four syllables.
Four syllables, yes.
영국에서는 laboratory라고 합니다. laboratory. 그래도 four syllables이긴 하네요.
So you say tree.
laboratory.
Laboratory.
Yeah.
Not laboratory.
Not laboratory or however you say it. How
Or
do you say it?
Laboratory.
Laboratory.
But it's not laboratory?
No.
Oh, so the last syllable is laboratory. Okay.
Laboratory. Yeah, I guess you could say laboratory, but most people will say laboratory.
Sure.
The stress is different, I think.
Lab-grown diamonds are a big thing these days.
Yeah,
they're almost
sure.
they're grown in a lab. They're synthetic, right? Another word I want to point out from our headline today is silicon, and this is a word that's often confused for native speakers as well, because silicon, silicon, is a natural element, and it could be pronounced silicon or silicon, like Silicon Valley. The area in California.
Sure.
But there's another word there. If you add an E there, it's silicone.
Is that a different word?
It's a different word.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
synthetic material. So silicon is natural. Silicone is a synthetic material, and you can use it in a lot of medical products, like gels use silicone. So there is a difference in that.
아하, 그랬군요. 자, 실리콘에 또 이렇게 다른 스펠링과 다른 의미까지 짚어주셨습니다. 다시 한번 제가 헤드라인 읽어볼게요. An Australian tech company has unveiled the world's first biocomputer, a machine powered not by conventional silicon, but by human neurons grown in a laboratory. Let's move on to the next headline.
A study has revealed that mice perform mouth-to-mouth resuscitation on a fallen companion by clearing its airways and pulling its tongue out before biting around its mouth in a behavior that resembles human CPR.
쥐가 쓰러진 동료를 대상으로 구강대 구강 소생술을 실시한다는 연구 결과가 나왔습니다. 이에 따르면 쥐는 쓰러진 상대의 기도를 확보하고 혀를 잡아당기다가 입 주변을 물어뜯는 등 인간의 심폐소생술과 유사한 행동을 보인 것으로 나타났습니다.
Yeah, so in addition, these mice, what they would do, they would lick their companion or
Yeah.
groom their dead rodent, I suppose. And what scientists are saying is they also release these oxytocin hormones needed for this social bonding, and the attempt to sort of try to revive their companion was more intense if they actually knew each other. So
Right.
you're seeing these sort of social bonding behaviors, which were normally often seen in sort of more high IQ organisms like elephants, dolphins, and chimpanzees, but even mice are doing that. So it's not really a learned behavior, but more instinctual, scientists are saying. So
그렇군요.
pretty interesting here.
본능적으로 instinctual behavior, 본능적인 행동인데 이게 우리가 하는 심폐소생술과 굉장히 비슷하다는 거죠. 다른 쥐가 쓰러진 걸 보면은 이런 CPR 비슷한 행동을 한답니다. 자, 여기서 CPR가 뭔지 그거부터 좀 얘기를 할까요?
Yeah.
헤드라인 안에도 resuscitation이란 단어가 들어갔는데 R가 resuscitation이죠?
Yes, and the CP is cardiopulmonary, which pulmonary means relating to the heart, right? And cardio would be the active part of it, circulation.
okay.
So cardiopulmonary resuscitation. If you resuscitate something, you're trying to revive it or
Yeah.
bring it back to life.
That's right. Cardiopulmonary resuscitation. 이거를 이제 줄여서 CPR이라고 하고요. 이게 워낙 긴 단어기 때문에 이걸 그냥 그대로 쓰는 경우들은 많이 못 들 거예요, 아마.
Have you
CPR는 많이 쓰죠.
Have you learned CPR? Have you been trained in
I
it?
have actually, yeah. They say, what's the song?
Staying Alive.
Staying Alive.
Yes.
Yes. Staying Alive is the song you should think of when you're doing CPR. So,
Yeah. The rhythm, right?
Staying Alive. 이런 박자로 하는 게 좋다고 영어에서는 이렇게 배웠는데 우리식으로 하면 어떤 노래가 있을까요?
I heard the Rosé song, 아파트, is actually a good, it's the same BPM.
아파트.
Yeah.
요 박자에 맞춰서 심폐소생.
I believe so.
그럴 수
Yeah.
있겠네요. 네. 하여튼 영어권에서는 보통 CPR 가르칠 때 그 cardio 부분이 이제 심장이란 뜻이고
Yeah, I
pulmonary가
misspoke earlier.
pulmonary가 이제 폐에 관련된 거라서 심폐소생술 cardiopulmonary resuscitation이라고 하는데
Right.
그 Staying Alive 노래를 이제 참고하라고 하거든요. 그 노래는 다 알잖아요. 우리 따따따따 Staying Alive. 그래서 요 박자에 맞춰서 하라고 합니다. 그러면은 딱 맞는다고 해요.
Yeah.
꽤 힘도 좀 줘야 되죠.
Yeah, you have to go actually pretty strong. It's
very
the force
strong.
that you
맞아요.
have
힘
to
좀 줘야
conduct.
돼요.
And
맞아.
and again, CPR is not something that's used to bring someone to life, but actually just to keep them breathing or resuscitate them until emergency responders come. So it's an initial sort of reaction that you should do or response that you should do before the experts come and do it.
맞아요. 이 resuscitation이라는 단어는 그래도 비교적 많이 쓰이니까 이건 알아두시는 게 좋아요. 그래서 다시 살아나게 한다, 소생하게 한다, resuscitate,
Yeah.
resuscitation.
And the cardio, we hear this a lot. Cardiovascular disease would be diseases related to the heart. But oftentimes in just conversation, we
the
say,
gym.
in the gym,
Yeah.
they say, oh, I did some cardio today.
유산소 운동.
Exactly.
이거를
So,
영어로는 I did some cardio, 이렇게 말해요.
Right. It could
예.
be running, sort of any sustained sort of exercise.
그렇습니다. 영어식으로는 그렇게 얘기를 하고 자, behavior는 뭐 행동이라는 뜻이겠죠?
It's your action or your attitude, how you conduct yourself. And the spelling in North America is BEHAVIOR. In Canada, it's OUR.
Yeah, same in the UK. 네, U 하나를 추가합니다. 보통 영연방 국가들은. 그래서 스펠링만 좀 달라지지만 발음은 똑같아요. 행동, 태도 다 되겠죠? 다시 한번 제가 읽어보겠습니다. A study has revealed that mice perform mouth-to-mouth resuscitation on a fallen companion by clearing its airways and pulling its tongue out before biting around its mouth in a behavior that resembles human CPR. All right, well, that's it for our 5 headlines with Shane.
The nation's automobile production dropped to 7th place globally in 2024 due to weak domestic demand, according to the Korea Automobile and Mobility Association.
한국 자동차 모빌리티 산업협회가 내놓은 보고서에 따르면 지난해 국내 자동차 생산 규모가 내수 부진으로 인해 세계 7위로 하락한 것으로 나타났습니다. So before we were around 5th place, 6th place, but
Yes.
now 7th place.
Yeah, we've dropped by 2.7% on year. So it's 4.13 million units we've produced. So there we are in 7th place. That is to say that everywhere has gone down. When we look at the global automobile production, according to this report, it fell by 0.5% compared to the previous year. So from totaling 93.95 million units. We've seen a decline before COVID. 2020 was when we took that dive, but then it went back up again. But last year we had production setbacks, and those were occurring in Japan, in Thailand, in Spain, and also here in South Korea. The other issue is when it comes to selling cars is, well, they're at their lowest level for sales domestically here in Korea since 2013. Therefore, less cars are being produced because less customers want them.
네, 이 내수 부진이라는 거를 영어로는 여기서 weak domestic demand라고 했어요. 그래서
네.
이제 부진에 해당되는 weak가 앞에 붙고 그다음에 내수가 바로 domestic demand죠. 이 표현부터 좀 보겠습니다.
Yes, so domestic as opposed to international. Domestic meaning at home. I remember when we were studying at school, we would have lessons sometimes on domestic chores, how to wash your clothes or how to cook food.
Sure.
Because domestic is of the home. So we think of the home country. So domestic product or domestic demand is always going to be within Korea in this case.
Exactly. Domestic chores 같은 경우에는요. chores는 이제 심부름 같은 건데 domestic는 가정, 가사라는 뜻입니다. 그러니까 집 안에서 하는 뭐 심부름 같은 일들 그게 이제 청소가 될 수도 있고 설거지가 될 수도 있고
네.
이런 것들이요. 그때 domestic는 집 아니지만 우리가 나라를 얘기할 때 domestic는 국내가 되겠죠. 뭐 이거 너무 잘 아실 겁니다. 공항에 가면은 domestic, 그다음에 international
Yeah.
이렇게 the different terminals가 있죠. 그래서 국내선, 뭐 국제선 이런 식으로 하죠.
Exactly. So domestic I think of as either home or home country.
That's right. 자, 그래서 domestic flights, international flights, and domestic affairs, 집 안에서 일, and what's the opposite of domestic in that case?
Well, you have international affairs.
No, but I mean in the home. What's the opposite of domestic in that case?
Wild?
Outside the home?
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
we don't have a word for it.
No, it's
Yeah.
it's one of those terms where the antonym is either doesn't exist or is not in common parlance.
And there's English for you. We don't
Yes.
have a rule for everything.
Speaking of English, I was rather nervous about reading this headline
Why?
because I haven't said the word automobile in years.
Ah, what does it mean?
Well, it simply means car,
Yes.
vehicle. But I was reading it yesterday and this morning going, it is automobile, right? Not automobile. Because you say mobile phone or no. Yeah, so it's one of those words that we don't use in casual conversation, but we
Okay.
do use it when officially talking about motor vehicles or cars and associations like this.
That's right. 네, 자동차를 뜻하는 훨씬 더 흔한 단어는 당연히 car겠죠.
Yeah.
그렇지만 이제 공식적으로는 automobile이라는 단어를 씁니다. 자, 다시 한번 제가 읽어볼게요. The nation's automobile production dropped to 7th place globally in 2024 due to weak domestic demand, according to the Korea Automobile and Mobility Association. Let's move on to the next headline.
The number of self-employed people dropped by more than 200,000 in the 2 months leading up to January, reaching 5.5 million, lower than the figures reported during the 1997 Asian financial crisis and the 2008 global financial crisis.
작년 11월부터 올해 1월까지 2달 새 국내 자영업자 수가 20만 명 이상 감소하면서 550만 명까지 떨어졌습니다. 이는 1997년 아시아 금융위기 및 2008년 글로벌 금융위기 당시보다도 적은 숫자입니다. Wow, we're looking at 200,000 people who had their own businesses
Yeah.
out of a job in just 2 months.
Yeah, going from 5.77 million in October down to 5.5 million in January.
Yeah.
It's all to do with, well, the economy. It's high inflation, it's high lending rates, and that's all affecting consumer spending. It's what we call cooling consumer sentiment when people are feeling like, oh, I can't afford this or I can't buy this. It's also on year a decline. January 2024, it was 5.53 million. And it's the lowest level since January 2023. So yes, we seem to be in a bit of a pickle when it comes to self-employment. I think everybody's hoping that, the economy will improve, the country will improve, and people can get back up on their feet.
네, 작년 말에는 사실 뭐 10월에는 577만 명, 그다음에 또 11월 달에는 570만 명.
네.
이렇게 자영업자 수가 570명대를 기록했었다가 계속 뚝뚝뚝 떨어지면서 지금 2달 사이에 550만 명대로 떨어졌거든요. 그러니까 20만 명이나 줄어들었다라는 얘기가 되겠습니다. 총 이 550만 명이라는 자영업자 수는요, 그 코로나 시대 때만큼이나 지금 적은 겁니다. 그때 정말 사람들이 일을 할 수가 없었잖아요. 그 정도로 현재 자영업자 수가 많이 떨어졌다. 자영업자라는 표현을 여기서는 self-employed people.
Yeah, meaning you employ yourself. You are your own boss, your own manager or president, as it were. You run your own business.
That's right. 그래서 self-employed, 스스로 고용이 된이라는 표현을 써요. 그러면 이제 자영업자라는 뜻이고, you could say I am self-employed. 그러면 나는 자영업자다. 이런 의미가 되겠죠. 하나만 더 여기 self 관련해서 얘기를 하자면은 가끔 you go to Korean restaurants sometimes and it will say self.
Yes.
And this can be confusing to an English speaker.
It can because it's missing a word. And the problem is that word will be confusing to Korean restaurant goers because the other word is service, which in Korean means extra things that you get because the owner wants to be nice to you. But self-service is the sign or the expression we use when you have to get your own water, your own cutlery, your own side dishes, whatever it is.
Yeah.
We don't just say self, we say self-service.
Exactly. And what you're basically doing is you're helping yourself with the side dishes or the cutlery.
But Sue, don't take too many. Don't be selfish.
You shouldn't be selfish with the self corner. All right. Now, this expression, leading up to, means what?
It's the time that comes before something happens. Something is going to happen, and that is the period of time before it. So we talk about the lead up to an election, or the lead up to the Olympics, or the lead up to Morning Special when Sue and I have to prepare ourselves, make sure we're radio ready.
Leading up to 무엇 그러면은 어디에 이르기까지라는 뜻이에요. 그래서 1월 달에 이제 자영업자 수가 550만 명이었는데 그 전에 2달 동안 2달이라는 이 기간이 leading up to January였죠. 그래서 1월이 되기까지 한 2달이라는 기간 동안에 20만 명이나 일을 하지 못하게 되는 그런 상황이 된 것 같아요. And when we say figure, what's that?
Well, it's not to do with the shape of our body.
Well, that's figure two.
Yes, it's to do with numbers in this
That's
case.
right, yeah.
We talk about figures, and those are the numbers we're talking about. In this case, the figures reported during the 1997 Asian financial crisis and 2008 global financial crisis, those figures, those numbers of people being self-employed were higher than they are in January 2025.
That's right. F-I-G-U-R-E. Figure is another word for number in this case.
Who would have figured?
That's a good one as well. If you figure something out, that means you find out or you learn something.
Yeah.
So that's a different meaning altogether as well.
Yeah, exactly. But it's a term we use a lot. Figure is in body shape, figure is in number, and figure as in figuring something out, working it out.
그래요. 자, 다시 한번 제가 읽어보겠습니다. The number of self-employed people dropped by more than 200,000 in the 2 months leading up to January, reaching 5.5 million, lower than the figures reported during the 1997 Asian financial crisis and the 2008 global financial crisis.
Health authorities in Hong Kong have warned travellers to guard against norovirus infections while travelling to Japan, as cases of infectious gastroenteritis rise in the country.
홍콩 보건당국은 일본에서 감염성 위장염 발병 사례가 급증함에 따라 일본 여행 시 노로바이러스 감염에 주의할 것을 당부했습니다. Tell us more.
Yeah, well, the reason they're warning travelers is because there's been this spike in norovirus, in this infectious gastroenteritis. Something like 150 or more people have been infected because of a restaurant. There's a restaurant in Osaka Prefecture,
Yep.
and there was also a kind of confectionery, a strawberry daifuku in Tottori Prefecture, and these were the two causes of the start of the spread of norovirus. And if you know anything about norovirus, it can be passed on very, very easily. So when one person gets it, well, many, many more may get it as well. And for Hong Kong, Japan is a top tourist destination. It's where many Hong Kongers want to go. They had 2.7 million visitors last year to Japan. That's the fifth highest. We're higher, as well as China, Taiwan, and the United States. But still, it's a good warning for all of us. Be careful and wash your hands.
네, 홍콩 보건당국에서 이제 홍콩 시민들을 대상으로 내놓은 소식이긴 합니다만 그래도 일본으로 갈 때 노로바이러스 조심해라라는 소식이 나왔기 때문에 주변국들 우리나라도 포함해서 다 같이 주의를 기울이는 게 좋을 것 같고요. 참고로 여기서 노로바이러스의 또 다른 표현인 gastroenteritis, 그 앞에 infectious gastroenteritis라는 것을 이제 그대로 번역을 하게 되면은 감염성 위장염. 실제로 많은 우리나라 신문에서도 그냥 이렇게 감염성 위장염으로 노로바이러스를 표기하는데 공식적으로는요. 우리나라 질병관리청에서 노로바이러스나 로타바이러스 감염을 급성 감염성 위장관염으로 표기합니다. 네, 같다고 보시면 될 것 같아요. 자, 그러면 표현을 좀 볼게요. Guard against something.
If we guard against something, we protect against it. Think of a guard dog. What is the purpose of a guard dog?
To guard the house, to guard the people.
Against robbers,
right.
against intruders, against whatever. Yeah.
Yep.
So if we guard against something, we're going to protect ourselves in some ways. The best way to guard yourself against any sort of infectious disease like this is to always wash your hands.
Yes.
Maybe wear a mask and be careful of what you touch or where you go.
그렇죠. Guard against something. 무엇에 대해서 조심하라는 얘기죠. Guarding 한다라는 것은 지킨다, 지켜준다라는 뜻이어서 guard dog를 아까 얘기를 해주셨어요. 저는 이제 뭐 감시견이라든지 보호하는 그런 개를 얘기하고 있죠. People can be guards as well.
Yes.
But as you said, dogs often have that role. 그 다음에 요 어려운 단어. Gastroenteritis.
Yes, I'm trying to think of the polite way to speak about this because we have terms, but they're not breakfast friendly.
Okay.
I think stomach bug is
Okay.
a very common pseudonym that we use for it.
Yep.
It's infectious stomach issue that will cause toilet troubles. Let's put it
Yes.
that way. Gastro, that prefix meaning of the stomach, the same way that we have gastronomy, which is all about food because
Yeah.
we eat it and it goes into our stomach. And enteritis is that swelling of the inflammation of the stomach.
그래요. 위장염을 얘기하고 있는 겁니다. gastroenteritis 이렇게 발음을 하고요. 그 앞에 붙은 infectious가 감염성이라는 의미니까 붙여서 감염성 위장염이 되겠죠.
You know, there's one thing that's infectious that is good.
What's that?
Laughter.
Laughter is, of course, wonderful.
But
and
it can be infectious.
Very
When someone
infectious.
starts laughing and then everybody laughs because they're laughing, we call
Yeah.
that infectious laughter.
맞아요. 전염성이 높은 웃음, infectious laughter. 이럴 때도 infectious를 쓸 수 있습니다. 자, 다시 한번 제가 읽어볼게요. Health authorities in Hong Kong have warned travelers to guard against norovirus infections while traveling to Japan as cases of infectious gastroenteritis rise in the country. Now let's move on to the next headline.
Prices of cooking oil could be buoyed up for years by stagnating production and a biodiesel push in top producer Indonesia that are making traditionally cheap palm oil more expensive.
파뮤 최대 생산국인 인도네시아가 바이오디젤 사용 정책을 강화하면서 지금까지 저렴했던 파뮤 가격이 상승한 데 더해 글로벌 생산량 정체 현상까지 겹치면서 식용유 가격도 앞으로 수년 동안 오를 수 있다는 전망이 나왔습니다. Tell us more.
Well, everybody has a favorite cooking oil, and for a lot of people around the world, especially in India, for example, palm oil is that. It's used for baking cakes, it's used for frying foods, it's
Yeah.
used in all sorts of products, including cosmetics, cleaning. and it makes up more than half of global vegetable oil shipments. The thing is, output is slowing, and Indonesia is shifting from exporting its oil to making biodiesel with its oil. So it increased the mandatory mix of palm oil in biodiesel to 40% this year. It's going to move to 50% next year. They're going to use it as a 3% blend for jet fuel as well. So it seems like Indonesia is really shifting. And what that's going to do is, well, reduce the supply. We're going to have less and less palm oil going throughout the world. And that means oil is going to become more expensive because once one oil goes up, quite frankly, other oils may go up as well.
All right. So going up is another easy expression that you
Yes.
just used there. But the word used in the headline is, how do you say this?
Boy up.
You say boy up. Okay. I think there's like two pronunciations. One is boy, one is buoy.
Yeah, the Americans say buoy.
Yeah.
I've never gone for buoy because it's spelt B-U-O-Y, and I say they're wrong.
Okay. But both are actually correct.
Both are correct. I've never heard buoy up though.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if Americans say buoy up.
I don't know
Certainly
either.
the British do say buoy up.
Yes.
B-U-O-Y, and that means to help lift up. Because what is a buoy? Well, if you've been to the seaside, you will have seen them. They are the floating bollards in the water. They could be red or blue or yellow with flashing lights. And they're used to mark areas. Fishermen use them as well
네,
to
네.
mark where their cages are.
그래요. 우리가 이제 바다에 보면은 그 부표들 있죠. 동글동글한 거. 그래서 여기는 넘어서지 말아라라고 하는 것들. 그걸 boy라고 하고요. buoy라고도 합니다. 스펠링은 B-U-O-Y인데요. 보통 영국에서는 boy. 그러니까 B-O-Y랑 발음이 비슷해요. 똑같나요? boy.
Boy, yes, the U is silent.
그러네요. 스펠링은 B-U-O-I지만 그렇게 발음을 영국에서는 하고 미국에서는 buoy 이러는 것 같아요. 그래서
Yeah.
둘 다 가능합니다. 근데 여기서는 동사로 썼기 때문에 buoyed up. It means to lift something up or bring something up.
Yeah, and we often use it in a positive sense. Your spirits can be buoyed up by your friends if you're feeling down. So for me, I've often seen it or used it in a positive sense. Here, though, we're talking about prices increasing, which is not so positive.
Yeah.
But it's suggesting that this is helping to lift the prices.
그래요. 그 바다에 떠 있는 부표들이 바다 위에 잘 떠 있잖아요. 그러니까 무언가를 올라가서 뜨게 하다 이런 의미도 있을 수 있습니다. 자, 여기선 가격 얘기가 되겠고, what about traditionally cheap?
Well, if something is cheap, it's not expensive. And if it's traditionally cheap, that means it's been cheap for a long while, or it was cheap since the old days. We talk about something being traditionally something. I would say that, Korea is traditionally a rice-eating country. For many, many, many years, going back hundreds of years, the main staple food in Korea has been rice. And if something is traditionally cheap, that means 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 100 years ago, it was also cheap.
전통적으로 저렴한 이런 뜻이겠죠. 원래 저렴한 이런 의미입니다. 다시 한번 제가 읽어볼게요. Prices of cooking oil could be buoyed up for years by stagnating production and biodiesel push in top producer Indonesia that are making traditionally cheap palm oil more expensive. Now let's move on to the final headline.
Oscar-winning director Bong Joon-ho's latest sci-fi film, Mickey 17, topped the North American box office over the weekend, marking the first time a film by a Korean director has debuted at number one.
오스카상을 수상한 바 있는 봉준호 감독의 최신 영화 미키 17이 지난 주말 북미 박스 오피스 1위를 차지했습니다. 한국 영화 감독이 이 순위 1위에 오른 것은 이번이 처음입니다. Tell us more.
We've got good news and bad news, Sue.
Okay.
The good news is it got to number one at the box office in North America. The bad news is it didn't earn that much money.
Okay.
It cost $118 million. And it only made about 20 million in its opening weekend in North America.
Okay, well, we still have many weeks to go.
We do, but internationally, that brought the total up to $53.3 million. I think they were banking on a bigger box office, but you can't tell what will succeed and what will fail. Certainly, fans of Bong Joon-ho have enjoyed the film, and fans of Robert Pattinson have enjoyed his performance.
Oh, it's fantastic.
But yes, it's not done as well as perhaps expected.
그래요. Well, they say it's a sci-fi film.
They
but
do.
Having watched it myself, I would question whether it's really a sci-fi film. There are definitely elements of sci-fi in it.
Then it's a sci-fi film.
But then as Bong's films tend to be. It's hard to categorize it and put it into one box. So it's like a sci-fi and also a very sort of human-centered film as well.
Still sci-fi.
Okay, all right.
Because there's lots of different kinds of science fiction.
All right, fair
And-
enough.
And that's what sci-fi is.
Yep.
Sci for science, fi for fiction. So we shorten it to sci-fi. I think here in Korea, SF is probably
SF,
used more
yeah.
often.
I think so, yeah,
But
yeah.
sci-fi is certainly the term used around the world.
네, 공상과학을 science fiction이라고 하는데요. 이거 너무 기니까 앞부분만 따서 sci-fi. 스펠링은 SCI hyphen 그리고 FI.
네.
sci-fi 이렇게 씁니다. 우리 이제 무선 인터넷 할 때는 Wi-Fi 이렇게 쓰는 것처럼 이제 라임도 되고 앞글자만 따서 하는 거죠. 자, 그 다음에는 이제 debut at number one.
Yes, if something debuts at number one, then when it comes out, it goes straight to the top of the charts. And debut is one of those words that tries to fool you with its T, D-E-B-U-T. The T is silent because it comes from the French.
맞아요. T가 발음이 되지 않죠. 그래서 우리가 한국에서는 데뷔라고 하는데
네.
영어로는 debut 이렇게 발음을 하고요. debuted at number one 하면은 1위로 박스 오피스에서 데뷔를 했다. 그런 의미가 되겠습니다. 네, 아주 잘하고 있네요. 자, 다시 한번 제가 읽어보겠습니다. Oscar-winning director Bong Joon-ho's latest sci-fi film, Mickey 17, topped the North American box office over the weekend, marking the first time a film by a Korean director has debuted at number one. Well, that's it for the headlines with Paul Matthews.
Card spending continued to slip in January as households tightened their purse strings amid an economic slowdown, with lodging and restaurant spending falling 1.8% year on year.
경기 침체로 가계 소비가 얼어붙으면서 올해 1월에도 주요 업종의 카드 매출이 감소한 가운데 숙박, 음식점업의 경우 작년 같은 달 대비 카드 매출이 1.8% 줄어든 것으로 나타났습니다.
Yep.
So less spending then.
Yeah. So it sounds like South Koreans tightened their wallets in January with credit card spending slipping across the board amid economic uncertainty.
Yeah.
So looking at the stats, they show that spending for lodging and restaurants fell 1.8% to 12.27 trillion won. And they're saying that it's still feeling the effects of President Yoon's impeachment turmoil. Spending for transportation also dropped 7.6% on year to 1.65 trillion won. Spending on healthcare and social welfare had a slight dip of 1.1% to 6.01 trillion won. Spending on leisure, sports, and arts went down 1.7% to 980 billion won. And spending on education surprisingly fell 5.5% on year to 1.74 trillion won. And this was quite surprising because they say it's the first decline since the pandemic or since January of 2021. They say that the economy did grow slightly at 2% last year, but a lot of challenges do remain because domestic demand is sluggish, exports are struggling, and of course, U.S. tariffs are adding a lot more uncertainty. The Bank of Korea cut its 2024 growth forecast to 1.5% from 1.9%, possibly marking the first time that the growth rate will dip below 2%.
So many reasons you just mentioned there. One
Yeah.
would be the geopolitical situation right now.
Uncertainty, a lot of
Yeah.
uncertainty, yeah.
And politics, of course, plays a big
course.
role in the economy. We're talking about not only domestic politics, but the U.S. and its policies as well that you mentioned there.
But I was really surprised that spending on education
Yeah.
fell because that's one area that usually people still spend a lot of money on here.
Yeah, well, the economy just in general is not great.
Yeah.
And so I suppose that
You have
had
to-
something to do with parents spending less
Yeah.
on education.
Tighten your belt.
For the
Right.
children. Yeah.
Right.
All right, so you just said tighten your belt, but the expression used in the headline is to tighten your purse strings.
That's right. That's another expression that a lot of people use to say that you are making less money available for spending or restricting the amount of money that is available to be spent. So in other words, you're just saving. You're restricting how much money you can spend.
자, 지갑을 뜻하는 단어 wallet도 있지만 purse라는 단어도 있습니다. 대체적으로 성별에 따라 좀 다르게 표현을 하기도 하고 시대별로도 다르게 표현을 해서 purse라는 표현을 요즘 잘 많이 쓰지는 않는 것 같아요. 그리고 또 남성들은 잘 안 쓰는 것 같고.
A man purse, yeah.
잘 안 쓰지만 뭐 쓸 수는 있습니다. 근데 어쨌든 지갑이란 뜻이에요.
Yep.
더 많이 쓰는 표현은 wallet가
Yeah.
되겠죠.
Yeah.
자, 근데 지갑에 있는 끈, purse strings. 이게 이제 옛날식으로 말하자면 돈주머니인데 돈주머니의 끈을 tighten, 조인다. 그러니까 여기서 돈을 좀 안 꺼내려고 하는 거겠죠. 네, 그래서 지출을 줄인다, 뭐 지갑을 닫는다 이렇게 해석을 할 수 있겠습니다. 그 다음에는 이제 뭐 아까 tighten your belt 이런 얘기도 했는데 뭐 허리띠를 조여매다.
Yeah,
그것도
yeah.
마찬가지죠. 다
Yeah.
영어로도 똑같이 표현을 하고.
It's tightening everything.
Yeah, that's right. Tighten. 여기서 tighten 해도 되지만 이렇게 북미식으로 가운데 T는 좀 잘 안 들리게
Yeah.
tighten 이렇게 영국에서도 그러네요. 생각해 보니까 네, 이렇게 발음 많이 하고. 자, 스펜딩이 줄어든 분야 중에 하나가 바로 lodging입니다.
Right, so that means people were traveling less probably because lodging is a place in which someone lives or stays temporarily. So it would be referring to hotels or any sort of accommodation that you don't live in permanently.
That's right. Lodging, lodging. 이거는 이제 accommodation이랑 같은 의미로 여기서는 쓰였습니다. 숙소가 되겠어요. 자, 다시 한번 제가 읽어볼게요. Card spending continued to slip in January as households tightened their purse strings amid an economic slowdown, with lodging and restaurant spending falling 1.8% year on year. Let's move on to the next headline.
A cargo ship carrying a highly toxic chemical collided with a U.S. military chartered oil tanker off the northeast coast of England on Monday, setting both vessels ablaze and spilling fuel into the North Sea.
네, 지난 월요일 우리 시간으로는 어제였습니다. 영국 북동부 해안에서 고독성 화학물질을 실은 화물선이 미군이 임차에 사용 중인 유조선을 들이받아 두 선박 모두 불길에 휩싸이고 연료가 북해로 유출되는 사고가 일어났습니다.
Yep.
We're talking about 18,000 tons of oil.
Yeah.
So tell us more.
Right. So this incident, it's basically a cargo ship struck a fuel tanker carrying jet fuel for the U.S. military in the North Sea, and that set both ships ablaze. Casualties include one crew member from the cargo ship who has gone missing, but they say that search efforts have ended, unfortunately. One person has been hospitalized. 36 crew members have been rescued from both vessels. The ships that are involved are the MV Stena Immaculate, which is the U.S. flag tanker that was anchored nearby Grimsby after sailing from Greece, and the Solong, which is a Portugal flag cargo ship that was en route from Scotland to Rotterdam when it collided. They're talking about, you mentioned, so much oil that's been spilling. So there's a lot of environmental concerns. The Jet A1 fuel spill reported, it has been reported, but they say that it's less damaging than crude oil. The cargo ship was carrying sodium cyanide, but there is no confirmed leak of that yet. Greenpeace has warned of risk near fishing grounds and seabird colonies as well, so investigations are currently underway.
Exactly. As you just said, that authorities are investigating the cause of the collision as we speak. Now, the highly toxic chemical, you said, has not been detected to have leaked into the ocean. So that's good. But nonetheless, there was highly toxic chemical aboard this cargo ship.
Yeah.
What is highly toxic?
Highly toxic means that it's very poisonous or can cause serious injury or death.
And toxic doesn't just have to refer to chemicals.
Yeah.
It can be a relationship too,
Yeah,
right?
it can be a relationship. You can be in a toxic relationship.
Yeah, and sometimes with entertainment news, you
Yeah.
hear of toxic work environments.
Yes.
which means that the 분위기, I guess, in an office or your workspace is just really bad.
Yeah.
And not just bad as in, it's boring bad, but sort of vicious, malicious, and nasty.
Yeah, so
That's
people
toxic.
are talking about you behind your back.
Exactly.
Or it's like an environment where you don't want to go to work and you feel like you are being harassed.
Yeah. And the same with a relationship. If you're in a toxic relationship, and it doesn't have to just be boyfriend, girlfriend, it
Yeah.
could be friends
Friends
as
as
well.
well, yeah.
If you're in a toxic relationship, then normally the case is that, it just gets worse and worse every time you meet up with this person.
Yeah.
You feel bad about yourself.
You feel like
and-
you're being taken advantage of.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are all referred to as toxic. Toxic. I think there was a Britney Spears song called
Yeah,
Toxic.
there was. Yeah.
I forget what it's about, but I guess it's a toxic
I
relationship.
just remember the music video. I think she was the steward or the
Yeah.
flight attendant in the music video. But yeah, I don't remember what it was about.
I'm guessing it was about a toxic relationship.
Probably, yeah.
자, toxic이라는 것은 이제 독성이 있다.
It was about your toxic love.
아, toxic
Yeah,
love.
yeah.
오케이. 네. 이 독성이 있다라는 뜻이기 때문에 우리가 화학 물질에 대해서도 많이 쓰지만 이렇게 사람 관계 아니면 어떤 이제 회사 분위기 얘기를 할 때도 종종 언급이 되는 단어입니다. 물론 좋지 않은 그런 컨텍스트에서 쓰이겠죠. 그런데 굉장히 독성이 강하다. 그러면 highly toxic. 이라고 합니다. 뒤에 chemical이 여기 붙었으니까
Yes.
독성이 아주 강한 화학 물질이 이 cargo ship 위에 있었다. 화물선 위에 있었다. 근데 다행히 그것은 유출이 되지
Yeah.
않은 걸로 지금 파악이 됐다고
Yes.
합니다.
Thankfully.
네, 정말 더 안 좋을 수 있었는데 자 그리고 이 화물선이 무엇과 충돌을 했냐면은 유조선과 충돌을 했는데 유조선은 탱커, 오일 탱커 이렇게 부르죠.
Yeah.
이게 미군이 임차한 그런 유조선이었어요.
Right, right. It was a chartered.
A chartered oil tanker.
Right, right. So when we say chartered, we're talking about it could be a ship, but like a tanker, but it could
Yeah.
also refer to aircrafts or buses as well. And it means that it has been rented for private use. So the U.S. Tanker was it was rented by the U.S. for their use.
그래요. chartered라는 것은 chartered. 그래서 전세를 냈다, 임차했다 이런 뜻이에요. 그래서 chartered tanker라는 것은 미군이 임차한 유조선이라는 뜻이고 이게 또 어디서 많이 쓰이냐면은 전세기. 네, 전세기는 영어로 chartered flight. 이거를 ed를 떼서 말하기도 해요. 그냥 charter flight라고 하기도 하고 chartered flight라고 하기도 하는데 이게 전세기죠. 그거 말고 우리가 보통 타는 비행기는 commercial flight. 그거는 우리가 뭐 전세 내고 하는 게 아니니까. Alright, so chartered that was the word we looked at there. Ablaze라는 단어도 있는데요. Set something ablaze. It means set something on fire. All right, so I'm going to read the headline again. A cargo ship carrying a highly toxic chemical collided with a US military chartered oil tanker off the northeast coast of England on Monday, setting both vessels ablaze and spilling fuel into the North Sea.
Authorities in Guatemala have evacuated hundreds of people after Central America's most active volcano erupted, spewing lava, ash, and rocks.
중앙아메리카에서 가장 화산 활동이 활발한 푸에고 화산이 분화하면서 용암과 화산재, 돌이 뿜어져 나오자 과테말라 당국이 주민 수백 명을 대피시켰습니다. Tell us more.
So this volcano has erupted before in 2018, and residents there have traumatic memories of this deadly eruption. So they've been seeking safety in a temporary shelter after the Fuego volcano, which is located very close to the capital city, Guatemala City. It's located about 35 kilometers from it. Showed escalating activity on Sunday. About 125 families, roughly 900 people people were moved to safety from the community of El Porvenir. This is according to the spokesperson from the Guatemala's Disaster Coordination Agency. And about 30,000 people are potentially at risk and should evacuate themselves if necessary. And Guatemala lies on the Pacific Ring of Fire and experiences frequent seismic and volcanic activity. And talking about that volcano eruption back in 2018, 215 people were killed and a similar number were left missing as an eruption of the Fuego volcano sent rivers of lava pouring down its sides, devastating the villages of San Miguel, Los Lotes.
So just to clarify, no casualties this time
Yes.
around, but 7 years ago, more than 200 people died because of this volcanic eruption.
Yeah.
아, 그래요. 한 7년 전에 굉장히 많은 사망자를 낸 바가 있는 그런 화산입니다. 푸에고 화산이라는 게. 이번에 이제 분화하면서 많은 사람들이 대피를 했고, 인명피해는 지금 없습니다. 자, 대피했다. They evacuated.
Right, right. If you evacuate, it means to remove someone, but it could be something as well, from a place of danger to a safer place.
그래요. 자, 여기서는 authorities evacuated hundreds of people 이라고 했습니다. 그래서 이제 당국이 수백 명을 대피시켰다. 이런 식으로 문장을 쓰고 있는데
Yeah.
You could say hundreds of people were evacuated
Yeah.
under orders by authorities in Guatemala.
Yeah.
이렇게 뭐 문장 구조를 좀 바꿀 수도 있겠죠. 자, 참고로 대피소는 shelter라고 보통 합니다. 그래서 뭐 우리가 날씨를 피하기 위해서 가는 곳도 대피소겠고 이런 이제 화산이라든지 뭐 지진 등등 여러 이유로 대피하는 곳 대피소는 보통 shelter라고 하고 대피하는 것은 evacuating이라고 하죠. 자, 다음으로 the most active volcano라고 했는데요. Let's look at what an active volcano is.
Yeah, yeah. So an active volcano is a volcano that has, I actually looked this up and they call an active volcano a volcano that has erupted in the last 10,000 years.
Oh, wow.
Or is currently erupting. So this would be talking about the Fuego volcano. Or has the potential to erupt again in the future. Yeah.
그렇군요. 우리말로 이제 활화산이라고 하죠.
Yep, yeah. And if it's most active, so we're talking about the Fuego volcano, it would be a volcano in that area that has erupted more frequently or most frequently.
그래요. Most active volcano는 가장 활발한 화산, 그 활화산 중에서 가장 이렇게 분화를 많이 한다든지 이런 것들을 말하겠죠. 참고로 화산의 이제 세 가지 종류, 활화산은 active volcano, 휴화산은 dormant volcano, 그리고 사화산은 extinct volcano 이렇게 표현을 합니다.
Yeah. So most active, if it's not used with volcano, it refers to, of course, it could be like a person who is very involved in something, or I think it's also used in economic terms as well when you talk about like stocks, like an active stock.
Okay. Well, I'm going to read the headline again. Authorities in Guatemala have evacuated hundreds of people after Central America's most active volcano erupted, spewing lava, ash, and rocks. Here's our next headline.
Amid the Trump administration's decision to stop minting 1-cent coins or pennies, attention has turned to the Lincoln Wheat penny, one of the world's most significant coins, valued at an impressive $121 million and still in circulation.
미국 트럼프 행정부가 1센트 동전인 페니의 생산 중단을 결정한 가운데 세계에서 가장 중요한 동전 중 하나로 거금 1억 2,100만 달러의 가치가 있고 현재도 유통되고 있는 일명 링컨 밀 페니가 사람들의 관심을 끌고 있습니다.
Yeah.
So it's in circulation. That means if you find it in your wallet, then you're going to be really rich.
Oh, you are going to hit it big. Yeah.
와,
Yeah.
여러분 혹시 미국 동전 있으시면은 1센트 요 페니 중에 링컨 윗 페니, 링컨 밀 페니가 있는지 한번 확인해 보세요. 이게 이제 현재 가치로 1,800억 원 정도로 환산할 수 있을 텐데 네, 어마어마한 가치를 가지고 있다고 합니다.
Yeah, yeah.
이야, 로또 당첨인데요.
Oh, it is definitely, definitely.
네,
Yeah,
tell us more.
It's worth $121 million. Of course, it would have to be in like mint condition, right?
그래도, 네.
Yeah, but this penny, it's very historically significant because it was introduced back in 1909 to mark Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday, and it features Lincoln's profile on one side and wheat stalks on the other side, which is why it's called the wheat penny. And they say the most valuable years are 1909, of course, the year that it was made, 1914, 1943, and 1955. And some of these rare pennies, like we mentioned, are still in circulation. So maybe you should go through your coins to see if you have any, because they are worth a lot of money. And they're becoming more valuable, I guess, than they were before because President Trump has ordered an end to penny production, of course, citing he wants to make everything efficient. And he's saying that it costs more to make these coins than they are actually worth, because they say that it costs 4 cents to mint a penny, but it actually costs more to mint a nickel because it costs 14 cents to mint a
That
nickel.
might go out of circulation as well
Yeah.
in the future. It happens with every country and every currency. 그래요. 뭐 많이 있는 일입니다. 아주 작은 그런 이제 단위의 동전들은 시간이 지나면서 좀 없어지기 마련이긴 한데, 자, 미국에서 이 링컨 위트 페니라고 하는 게 원래는 1909년 에이브라함 링컨 대통령의 100번째 생일을 기념하면서 만든 동전이었대요. 한쪽에는 링컨의 옆모습이 있고요. 또 한쪽에는 wheat, 밀이 그려져 있습니다. 그래서 이제 링컨 wheat penny
Yep.
이렇게 부르는 건데, 이게 이제 특정 연도의 링컨 위트 페니들이 지금 이렇게 큰 가치를
worth
가지고 있어요.
more, yes.
네. 아까 얘기했던 1909년 동전, 1914년, 1943년, 그리고 1955년 이렇게 4개 연도의 요 링컨 위트 페니가 아주 가치가 있다고 하고, 동전 아래에 그 연도가 소문자로 표기돼 있거나 아니면은 인쇄 오류가 있는 동전들이 있거든요. 만약에 그 인쇄 오류가 있으면 더 가치가
No,
높아요.
they're worth a lot more.
왜냐면 정말 몇 개 없거든요.
Yeah.
이런 동전들은. 그래서 혹시 이런 게 있으시면은 축하드립니다. 그래서 뭐 미국에서 어쨌든 아마 많은 분들이 집에 이제 동전 모아놓았던 경우 지금 찾아보고 있을
don't you all
거예요.
have like a big pot of coins?
Yeah, like
well,
a piggy
we used
bank.
to, yeah.
Yeah, of course. 그래요. 자, 그러면 표현을 좀 보도록 하겠습니다. 일단 minting이라는 게 그 동전을 만든다, 주조한다라는 뜻이에요. So to mint a coin means to make a coin. 그래서 미국에서는 the US Mint라고 얘기를 하죠. 그 동전을 만드는 곳이요. And attention has turned to something. 보겠습니다.
So attention has turned to something is turning your attention to something or someone. So it means to start focusing on or considering something or someone, or to start to think about or consider a particular thing or person.
That's right. 뭐뭐로 관심이 쏠리는 것을 attention has turned to something이라고 표현을 하죠. attention이라는 표현이 그 자체로도 어떤 주의를 기울인다는 뜻이 될 수 있고, 우리 이제 보통 뭐 차렷, 열중샷 이런 거 할 때 영어로는
Attention!
이렇게
Yeah.
하더라고요. 그때 이제 차렷에 해당되는 표현이기도 한데, 우리 보통 대화 속에서는 pay attention to something 그러면은 무언가에 주의를 기울인다, 집중한다. 자, 그다음에 in circulation.
Yes, in circulation. So we mentioned that these coins are still in circulation. So it means that it is available to the public or it's in general use.
네, 아직도 유통되고 있는 거니까 아직도 쓰이고 있다라는 뜻으로 보면 되겠습니다. It is still in circulation. 다시 읽어볼게요. Amid the Trump administration's decision to stop minting 1-cent coins or pennies, attention has turned to the Lincoln Wheat Penny, one of the world's most significant coins, valued at an impressive $121 million and still in circulation. Now let's move on to the final headline.
Scientists at the University of Cambridge have discovered that aspirin may help prevent cancer from spreading by enhancing the immune system's response, though they caution that more research is needed before it can be prescribed.
케임브리지 대학 연구진은 아스피린이 면역 체계의 반응을 강화시켜 암세포의 전이를 억제하는 데 도움이 될 수 있다는 사실을 발견했습니다. 그러나 실제 처방까지는 더 많은 연구가 필요하다는 단서를 달았습니다. So I feel like in most households you have aspirin.
Yes. You usually take it when you have like headaches,
Yeah.
some sort of pain. It's a painkiller, right?
Right.
So it's a breakthrough discovery because it feels like something has been just like hiding under one's nose. We usually say it was just there and no one actually thought about it or realized it.
Sure.
So this discovery, they're saying that aspirin might enhance your immune system's ability to fight metastatic cancer or cancer that spreads. And this is according to research from the University of Cambridge, which found that aspirin stops platelets from suppressing T cells, and it allows them to attack cancer. So how this works is cancer spreads when cells break off from a tumor and move to other parts of the body, and T cells can destroy those rogue cancer cells, but platelets suppress them, and aspirin disrupts platelets, allowing T cells to function properly.
Okay.
So there are still concerns because aspirin is dangerous because it can cause internal bleeding, including strokes.
Yep.
So these risks have to be balanced. That's why you can't just go and take aspirin
Sure.
thinking that it will prevent cancer. So
Yeah.
you do have to go to your doctor. And you have to find out if this is okay for you, and of course, more research needs to be done on
Right.
this.
There are some serious side effects
Yes.
to aspirin. 네, 뭐 심각한 부작용도 일으킬 수 있기 때문에 그냥 무작정 복용을 하는 것은 안 되겠고 반드시 전문의와 상담을 해야 되겠습니다.
Yeah, and what I thought was really interesting is that they weren't actually studying aspirin when they came to this conclusion. They stumbled upon this while researching immune responses to cancer. So they say that it's a surprise discovery.
그러게요. 네. 자, enhance the immune system's response라는 표현이 나왔습니다. 면역 체계를 이제 더 활성화시킨다 이런 의미일 것 같은데.
Yep.
What does enhance mean?
It means to make better. So to intensify, increase, or further improve the quality, value, or extent of something.
Yep. Sometimes just a little salt can
Oh, yeah.
enhance the flavor of a dish.
Anything. Yeah.
Anything, yes. 맞아요. Enhance something, 뭔가 향상시킨다라는 뜻이 있어서 특히 요리에서 많이 씁니다. 요거 좀 추가하면은 맛이 더 좋아집니다. 이런 의미로 you can enhance the flavor. 자, 여기서는 you can enhance the immune system's response. 그래서 면역 체계를 좀 향상시킨다, 활성화해서 그런 의미가 되는 것 같고요. 다음으로 prescribe.
Prescribe. So prescribe, we're talking about, it would be a medical practitioner, like a doctor, and they would usually prescribe some sort of medication for you. So it would be some sort of advice or authorization
Yep.
of the use of a medication or treatment.
prescribe 하는 것은 처방하는 거죠. 그래서 before it can be prescribed, 처방되기까지는 more research is needed. 연구가 좀 더 필요하다. 다시 읽어보겠습니다. Scientists at the University of Cambridge have discovered that aspirin may help prevent cancer from spreading by enhancing the immune system's response, though they caution that more research is needed before it can be prescribed. Well, those are our 5 headlines with Karen.
Starting in June, families with 3 or more children under 19 will qualify for fast-track airport services, granting them priority departure under new policies aimed at addressing the country's low birth rate.
저출생 대책으로 마련된 새로운 정부 정책에 따라 오는 6월부터 미성년 자녀를 3명 이상 둔 가족은 공항에서 우선 출국 서비스를 이용할 수 있게 됩니다. So, as a mum of two, I was
You would
able
not
to.
qualify.
I would not qualify, but I was able to use the fast track system until my kids were 24 months old. So
Okay.
normally, kids that are under 24 months, so 2 years old, they can go to the fast track lane regardless of the number of kids.
Does this really address the country's low birth rate, though?
No, but I mean, my experience was just for the younger kids.
Right.
But now they're saying if you have 3 kids that are underage, so I guess up to 18 or something.
Yeah.
Or 18, right?
Under 19.
Yeah, so it's going to make flying a little bit more convenient, I guess, for families with a lot of children.
Right.
Yeah.
So this priority services will be available at Incheon, Gimpo, Gimhae, and Jeju by
Okay.
June. But the thing that I found that stuck out to me is the families have to have at least 3 children under 19.
Right.
But however, they don't all have to be traveling together.
Oh.
Only one parent has to be traveling with at least one child.
Okay.
So I don't know. I'm questioning
You'd need
how
the
this.
documents then. You'd have to carry
Yeah, I
documents.
guess. And I'm
showing-
just questioning
yeah.
how this is going to address the country's low birth. Are people going to say, "Oh, well, we could get fast track service on a flight. Let's have more kids"?
children.
It
I guess
doesn't
that's
make
what
sense to me.
the officials are hoping for, but in a more realistic, pragmatic sense.
Right.
That might not be the solution to this problem. A lot of the time,
personally, I don't
like-
see how this addresses anything.
yeah, a lot of the time it is an economic issue. It's like not just flying and
Right.
traveling, but it's how much money you have, who's going to take care of the kids. It's a very complicated issue.
Yeah, it is. And so one other thing that they've decided, because they realize that large families have to spend a lot of money when they travel, especially booking hotels, is that they're saying that occupancy limits, often there's caps at 4 guests.
Yeah.
They're saying those regulations are going to be relaxed. So the government's collaborating with the hospitality industry, and they plan to increase the availability of family-friendly rooms. And also excluding infants and toddlers from that guest count. So
Okay.
I guess this obviously is only going to be relevant in Korea. They can't
Yeah.
affect this in other countries.
But I think this would be more beneficial for, say, American families traveling to Korea because American families tend to be bigger. They tend to have more children in general than Koreans. Most people
Possibly.
these days only have one.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see if it works. It'll take a few
I guess
years.
that would only
results to show.
maybe make tourism a little bit more attractive
better,
to foreigners, but again, that doesn't address the country's low birth rate at all.
It is,
So
like I said, it's a very deep-rooted
Right.
and very complex
Yeah.
issue. It's not just about traveling.
no.
But anyway, what's the fast track service, or in
If we're,
this case,
if we're
airport
talking about
service?
any time you hear fast track, it means something happens quicker than it normally would.
Yeah.
So fast track airport services, obviously, you're going to get quicker service at the airport. You're going to get to, and they mentioned departure. You're going to get off first. You can also use this word, so you might hear that somebody is on the fast track. A lot of times they'll say someone's on the fast track to success.
Okay.
Usually at a company or maybe in their career, you can tell that they are doing really well and that they are kind of ahead of their peers at the same age.
남들보다 앞서가는 그런 어떤 직장 동료 얘기를 할 때 they're on the fast track to success 이렇게 표현할 수 있겠네요. 그래서 fast track는 지금 여기서는 우선 탑승을 얘기하는데 우리 놀이동산에서도 이런 표현 쓰죠. At amusement parks, when the lines are really, really
Yes.
long, if you pay extra,
Fast track
you
pass.
can go on that.
They're
fast.
expensive though.
They are expensive.
They're
yeah.
really expensive.
But you can save that much time.
It might be worth it, right? Especially if you're only. I've looked up some of them, and some of them are extremely
are they?
expensive,
Oh, okay.
like a lot more than a regular pass. But if it's a one-time thing and
Yeah.
you want to experience all the rides, then maybe it's worth it.
Yeah, exactly. If there's like maybe only one or two of you, it might not be that burdensome. But if you have
some of them are
a lot of kids, okay,
Oh
they're
yeah,
really expensive.
Oh yeah, like
I see.
more than double.
Oh, that much. Okay.
And amusement parks are really expensive. All of them are expensive now.
well, the really popular rides, they often lead to really long lines where you have to wait an hour sometimes.
I
So,
remember.
you know,
I remember as a kid waiting like 2 hours.
2
for,
hours, yeah.
for certain rides. Because
so
back
then
in
you get to think, oh, maybe I should pay extra.
back in the 90s, they didn't even have fast track options.
You just had to wait.
You just had to wait, right?
That's right. 그래요. 자, 놀이동산에서도 그런 거 있죠? 예, 먼저 좀 이렇게 짧은 줄로 가가지고 탑승할 수 있는 거. 근데 표가 좀 더 비싸긴 하지만 그것도 다 fast track lane이라고 부를 수 있습니다. And to grant someone something.
To give someone something, and usually we use it. It's more an official way. So someone, you might be granted a visa. Countries, if there's refugees, they'll grant asylum, giving them a place to stay. Also, you might ask someone permission for something. Maybe you ask a boss or a parent, and they grant you permission.
So granting is a sort of official word. You wouldn't use it to your friends, I guess. You know, I grant you.
Yeah,
something,
sometimes
I don't know.
in conversation, if you're having a debate with somebody and they convince you or they say a point and you say, okay, I agree with you because I grant you that. You might,
okay.
people say that, like, okay,
You'll
I'll
say
give
like
you
that.
that point. I didn't think of that. You're right. Let me consider that.
그 말 맞네. I grant you that. 이렇게 표현할 수도 있겠군요. 일상 대화에서는. 근데 보통 이제 grant, G-R-A-N-T라는 동사를 쓰게 되면은 누군가에게 승인을 해준다. 허락을 한다. 이런 의미가 있습니다.
And if you remember Aladdin, in always in fairy tales, when there's a genie, usually they grant 3 wishes.
That's
and
right.
that's the phrase that I think most English-speaking children hear at first. The genie will grant you 3 wishes.
Yes, 맞아요. Grant someone their wish. 이것도 이제 소원을 들어준다라는 뜻인데 이게 뭐 승인하다, 허락하다라고 우리는 하진 않지만 영어로는 다 똑같이 grant라고 합니다. 그러니까 뭔가 부여해주는 것 같은 느낌도 있어요. Grant someone something. 자, 그럼 다시 한번 제가 읽어보겠습니다. Starting in June, families with 3 or more children under 19 will qualify for fast-track airport services, granting them priority departure under new policies aimed at addressing the country's low birth rate. Now let's move on to the second headline.
The 2025 Seoul Marathon, Korea's only marathon certified platinum label by World Athletics, will take place this Sunday, hosting a record 40,000 participants from 66 countries.
자, 2025 서울 마라톤이 총 66개국 4만 명이 참여한 가운데 이번 주 일요일에 개최됩니다. 서울 마라톤은 세계 육상 연맹의 최고 등급 인증인 플래티넘 라벨을 획득한 국내 유일의 마라톤 대회입니다. All right, so the Seoul Marathon is coming up.
It sure is this Sunday.
Sunday, yeah,
This
yeah.
Sunday. Are you a marathon runner? Have you ever ran a marathon?
No, I've never run a marathon,
you
but I
ever
hope to.
Have you? Oh, really? You
yeah,
thought
I
about
would
it?
love,
Oh, okay.
I would love to someday.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
What about you?
No.
Okay. A flat out no.
No, I don't. Maybe, who knows? Maybe someday. But
Yeah.
but this does. It sounds like it could be kind of fun. So this marathon, it starts in Gwanghwamun and it will end in Jamsil Sports Complex. And as we mentioned here, it's a record high, 40,000 participants from
Yeah.
66 countries. And the thing that I always find interesting is who's going to be there. I always look for the stories when it comes to any type of sporting event.
sure there'll be many.
Apparently, it's been confirmed that some of the big heavy hitters in the world of marathons will be at this event. So
really?
A man from Kenya named Bernard Kiprop Koch of Kenya, as I mentioned, he won the Hamburg Marathon in 2023 and 2024. He'll be attending, as well as last year's Seoul Marathon winner, Yamal Yimmer Makonnen of Ethiopia.
Oh, wow.
A lot of the Africans are always really, really good at marathon.
They
Kenyans
are.
and Ethiopians especially.
I take it there's a separate category for these runners, right?
They'd be in the elite
Yeah, 'cause
category.
They wouldn't be running with the amateurs,
No,
right?
no,
okay.
no.
아, 엘리트 카테고리에는 이렇게 세계적인 선수들도 같이 뛰는군요. 마스터즈 카테고리도 있고, 뭐 엘리트 카테고리도 있고 그렇다고 합니다. Well, there's many marathons that happen around the country in Korea, but this is the only one in Korea that has been certified with something called the Platinum Label. I think earlier on last night I misread this and I thought it was Platinum Level, but apparently the official term is Platinum Label. And that means it's a really high-class marathon.
Yeah, if it's platinum, we always
Yeah.
platinum's always higher than
Yeah,
gold.
your ring, your jewelry.
That's
and,
right.
Yeah, exactly. 플래티넘 레이블을 요런 이제 최고의 인증 등급을 받은 한국 유일의 마라톤이군요. So when someone's certified or something in this case, what does that mean?
If you're certified, that means that you've met some qualifications for something. If people get certified, like a certified nurse, a certified accountant, for
Yeah.
example, you've passed exams and then an official organization has approved you. They have certified you. They've given you this certification.
그래요. certified라는 것은 공인된, 인증된 이란 뜻입니다. So I believe CPA is certified practicing accountant. Oh, maybe not the P's. I think wrong.
Certified professional accountant, CPA?
Okay, is it?
I think so.
그런 것 같네요. 앞에 certified public accountant.
Public accountant, okay.
요거였군요. 그래 공인회계사니까 certified가 들어갑니다. 그래서 뭐 공인됐다, 인증됐다. Certified. What about host?
The host. Well, you're the host of the show. So usually we'll talk about if a host an event or a host city, that means that's where the event takes place. So that city, or if you're hosting the event, you provide the facilities and you provide the space. In this case, we mentioned the marathon will be hosting all these participants. So the Seoul Marathon, they'll take responsibility for this event. They'll make sure it runs smoothly. And for the people that come here, I'm sure they're going to provide assistance and
Yeah.
some guidance for their guests.
Yeah, exactly.
You can consider the marathon runners guests of the country, of the city.
그래요. 호스트가 명사로 이제 주인 뭐 이런 의미가 될 수 있고 개최하는 나라, 개최하는 사람이 될 수도 있고 동사로는 개최하다가 되겠죠. But when it comes to parasites and host, there's another meaning of host there.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking of the Bong Joon-ho movies. He's obviously well known for his movie Parasite. But the other word that goes with parasite normally is the host.
Right.
And he also has a movie called The Host. So I didn't really put the two together until recently, actually, because, I don't know. I actually haven't watched The Host. That's probably why. But there you go. It's a different meaning
It is.
altogether.
Right.
그러니까 기생충과 숙주 할 때도요. 숙주도 호스트예요. 근데 이건 이제 완전 다른 의미지만 같이 그냥 참고로 알아두시면 될 것 같습니다. 자, 그러면 다시 한번 제가 읽어볼게요. The 2025 Seoul Marathon, Korea's only marathon certified platinum label by World Athletics, will take place this Sunday, hosting a record 40,000 participants from 66 countries.
Ukraine has said it is ready to accept an immediate 30-day ceasefire with Russia proposed by the U.S. following high-stakes talks with Washington in Saudi Arabia.
우크라이나가 사우디아라비아에서 열린 미국과의 중대 회담 이후 즉각 러시아와 30일간 휴전한다는 미국의 제안을 받아들이겠다는 입장을 밝혔습니다. All right, so tell us more.
Well, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said he would present the offer to Russia, and he said, quote, the ball is now in their court.
Yes, that's a good one.
So that means it's up to them
Yeah.
to decide how to handle this. I just read an article that was just released within the hour, and it says that the Kremlin is currently studying the ceasefire proposal, and they have said that a phone call between Trump and Putin is possible.
Okay.
It is possible. Yesterday, Trump told reporters in the White House that he will be speaking with Putin and that Putin would hopefully agree to this proposal.
Yeah.
He used the expression, it takes two to tango.
Wow, so many great expressions
Right.
here. Yeah, I like both of those. Let's talk about those before we get to our
Sure.
vocabulary. The ball is in someone's court, you mentioned earlier on. That means it's up to them.
Right.
They have the deciding power.
Right. It's their decision how to act. It's almost like you've done your work and now it's up to you. Now
Yeah.
you have to do some work.
그렇습니다. 이제 공은 저쪽 코트에 넘어가 있다. 이제는 러시아가 어떻게 결정을 하느냐에 따라서 이 30일간의 휴전이 이루어질지 말지가 결정이 되겠죠. 자, 그 다음에 이제 미국과 러시아가 앞으로 이제 통화를 하면서 결정이 날 것 같은데요. 미국이 한 제안이죠. 러시아도 같이 지금 동의를 해서 같이 합의를 해야지만 진행이 되니까 it takes two to tango.
So in this case, tango is a dance, and
Yeah.
I've never done the tango, but I understand you can't do it by yourself.
I don't
so
think you can.
You're right.
Yeah.
You need two people. So what when we use this expression, it means you can't make an agreement if only one side wants to make that agreement.
그렇습니다.
So in Ukraine has said they're in, they're going to do it, and now it's up to Putin to decide if he wants to take part in this and actually come to some kind of ceasefire.
Exactly. 미국 혼자 결정한다고 되는 거 아니고요. 뭐 제안은 제안이고 우크라이나는 좋다고 했습니다만 이제 러시아가 be on the same page 해야 되겠죠. 오늘 수고 많이 나오네요. 그래서 같은 마음이어야 되는데 it takes two to tango라는 것은 탕고 춤을 추려면 반드시 두 명이 같이 있어야 된다 이런 거죠. 즉 한 사람만 일방적으로 해서는 뭐가 되지가 않는다. 이게 때로는 컨텍스트에 따라서 뭐 손뼉이 두 개가 마주쳐야 소리가 난다? 이런 의미로도 해석이 될 때도 있고요. 여기서는 그런 부정적인 의미보다는 러시아의 협조가 필요하다. 이렇게 볼 수 있겠습니다. So let's go to our vocabulary. Immediate.
Right away. Without delay. If you
Yeah.
tell someone to do something immediately, then you're using it as an adverb and you're saying do that thing right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Get out of here immediately.
Immediately. 지금 당장. 그래요. 즉각적인이라는 의미의 형용사로 여기서는 쓰였어요. An immediate 30-day ceasefire. 그러니까 러시아만 동의하면 즉각적으로 이제 30일 동안 휴전에 들어가는 겁니다.
A lot of times when you use it as an adjective, you'll say something requires immediate action.
Yeah.
And that's very
requires.
formal. You might write that in an email.
Yeah. This requires immediate action.
Please
지금-
take immediate action,
그렇죠.
something like that.
맞아요. 비즈니스 이메일 보낼 때 지금 당장 조치가 필요한 좀 급한 사안입니다. 이렇게 표현할 수 있겠고. If something is high stakes,
Ooh, high stakes means it's very important, and it involves a lot of risk, especially if you're not successful. A lot of times we talk about this in the context of gambling. Actually,
Yeah.
You play high stakes poker, for
there's
example.
a big risk of losing, but you could win.
You could win. So you're
Yeah.
there's a lot of money at stake. You're risking a lot of money. You can win a lot, but if you're not successful, you're also going to lose a lot. Or we talk
right.
about high stakes negotiations, which
Sure,
is this
sure.
because there's a lot of risk if they're not successful. And the risk is the war will continue. Could it even escalate? Who knows?
그래요. High stakes. 여기서 스테이크는요. 우리 고기 구워 먹는 스테이크 아니고요. STAKES 이렇게 씁니다. 그래서 이건 뭐냐면 많은 게 달려 있다 여기에. 이런 의미예요. 그래서 원래는 gambling에서 나온 표현이에요. 그 뭐라 그러죠? 동전이 아니라 영화 같은 데 보면은 칩 같은 거 이렇게 뭐 던져서 치프에 뭐 넘버도 있고 모르겠어요. 근데 그거 하면은 이제 와, we won 뭐 이러는 경우가 있고 대부분은 oh no, I lost all my money 막 이러면서 이제 돌아가는 장면들이 나오잖아요. 그러니까 정말 많은 것을 걸고 뭔가 할 때 it's a high stakes game. 이 경우에는 it's a high stakes negotiation or talks 이렇게 볼 수 있겠습니다.
Yeah, you'll even say like the stakes are high. You can use that
stakes
even
are high.
even before before the Champions League final or Game 7 of the World Series. The stakes are really really high. It's very very important,
Yeah.
and you're either going to win or you're going to lose. And if you win, you're going to get a lot. You're going to win the championship.
Right.
But if you lose, you've come that far and you just didn't win. And it's
그렇습니다.
really hard to get to those big games.
Exactly. Well, let me read the headline again. Ukraine has said it is ready to accept an immediate 30-day ceasefire with Russia proposed by the US following high-stakes talks with Washington in Saudi Arabia. Now we're going to move on to a story about butterflies.
Butterfly populations in the U.S. declined by 22% between 2000 and 2020, according to a study by Binghamton University in New York. But researchers believe recovery is possible with urgent conservation efforts.
미국 뉴욕의 빙함튼 대학교 연구 결과 2000년부터 2020년까지 미국의 나비 개체 수가 22% 감소한 것으로 나타났습니다. 하지만 연구팀은 지금이라도 빠른 보호 조치를 실시할 경우 개체수 회복이 가능하다고 밝혔습니다. Alright, so currently there are less butterflies in America.
Yeah, that's so using statistical models, the researchers they estimated population trends for 342 species of butterflies. And the results showed that there were 33% of these species were in significant decline, with many of them exhibiting what they called extreme losses. So 107 species of the 342 declined by more than 50%. Wow. And they've said that habitat loss, pesticides, and climate change are the key reasons or key causes of this decline.
So we need to take urgent measures.
Yeah, exactly. Urgent. So again, urgent means you need to do something immediately. You need
Now.
to take action immediately because it's very important. Needs to be done.
Yeah. Someone might call a certain place, like an office, a business or something, and they'll say, this matter is really, really urgent. Can I talk to the manager right now? It's a pressing matter.
And we talked about before we talked about immediate. So a lot of times those would go together. Some people write in the subject line of the email urgent.
Yes.
And then they might say, this issue I need you to take immediate action or please take immediate action on this.
맞아요. 다시 비즈니스 이메일로 돌아와서 제목란에다가는 긴급라는 의미의 urgent를 넣어놓고 이렇게 제목을 붙일 수도 있겠죠. 그러면 이거 당장 확인하세요. 이런 의미가 되겠습니다.
But if you overuse that, people might get angry at
That's
you.
right. Yeah.
There's a joke from The Office, the TV show, where Michael says,
yeah.
I just write urgent in every email subject so then people open it.
And you're inclined to open it because you
Right.
think, this is.
But
this
then
is
he
really
was just forwarding joke emails.
그러면 안 되겠죠. 자, 긴급하다, urgent. 다음으로 conservation efforts.
So when you conserve something, you try and save it or protect it. A lot of times we might try to conserve energy at home, not use as much electricity to save money.
Yeah.
In this case, we're talking about wildlife here. So conservation efforts are some actions that you take or activities. So these would be actions taken to protect and preserve natural resources. In this case, wildlife. So we're looking at their preventing these species from going extinct and also ensuring that their natural habitats remain healthy for the future.
그래요. 보호하는 활동인데 여기선 자연 보호 활동을 얘기한다고 볼 수 있겠습니다. 자, 다시 읽을게요. Butterfly populations in the US declined by 22% between 2000 and 2020, according to a study by Binghamton University in New York. But researchers believe recovery is possible with urgent conservation efforts. Well, moving on from butterflies to butter, here's our final headline.
Researchers from Harvard Medical School have found that people who consume the most butter are 15% more likely to die from any cause than those who eat the least, while a high intake of plant-based oils was linked to better health.
미국 하버드 의과대학 연구팀의 연구 결과 버터 섭취량이 가장 많은 사람은 가장 적은 사람보다 사망할 확률이 15% 더 높으며 식물성 기름을 많이 섭취하면 건강을 개선하는 효과가 있는 것으로 나타났습니다.
I think this one's going to cause some controversy because some people think butter is better and say a lot of canola oil and a lot of these oils are really, really bad. But that's not what this study says. So apparently they tracked over 220,000 Americans over a 50-year period. And what they've said is that swapping butter for plant oils of any type made people almost 20% less likely to die.
Okay, so olive oil,
Yeah,
and
all
things
of
like
it.
that?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Grapeseed,
Yeah.
corn oil, all of these.
그렇군요.
And a lot of these do
식물성.
get a bad rap, so it is
Yeah.
interesting.
그러네요. 좀 식물성 기름을 쓰는 게 좀 더 좋더라라는 연구 결과가 나온 겁니다. 근데 지금 레이 선생님이 얘기해 주시는 것처럼 사실 버터도 몸에 좋다라는 연구 결과가 그동안에 많이 있었거든요. 그래서 조금 대치되는 느낌도 있는데, 뭐 이런 결과가 이제 하버드에서 나왔습니다. 특히 이제 버터 섭취한 사람들만 놓고 봤을 때 버터를 가장 섭취하지 않는 집단과 가장 많이 섭취하는 사람 간에 뭐 이제 그 사망률이 버터 많이 섭취한 사람들이 더 높더라라는 얘기입니다. So I wouldn't say it's a correlation, but it's just there's a link there somewhere.
So
Yeah.
they say, from
Yeah.
from what they found. They said that every 10 gram per day increase in plant-based oils lowered the risk of death from cancer by 11% and decreased heart disease death risk by 6%. And they said that at the same time, a 10% daily increase of butter raised the risk of cancer death by 12%.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a tricky
Yeah.
one. You know, are they taking into account
The other habits that they have.
other habits
Yeah,
or
yeah.
family
Yeah.
history? So, this one I don't know.
It's
We'll
definitely
see.
not a cause and effect kind of research. But
No.
there's some kind of link. All right. If you're more likely to do something,
Means the chances are better. There's a higher probability.
좀 더 뭐뭐 할 가능성이 있다.
And usually it's comparing two things. So
Sure.
you might be like, oh, who can help me with this? And someone might say, you know what? Sue is more likely to help you than Ray is. Because I might say, I'm not going to help you with that, but you might help someone with something. For example.
뭐뭐 할 가능성이 더 많다. And what about intake?
Intake, in this case, we're talking about consumption, so eating or drinking something. A lot of
Yeah.
times people will talk about maybe increasing their protein intake. A lot of personal trainers will tell you that. At the same time, you might need to decrease your fat intake or your sodium intake, for example.
그렇죠. 섭취량을 얘기하고 있습니다. 자, 그럼 다시 한번 제가 읽어볼게요. Researchers from Harvard Medical School have found that people who consume the most butter are 15% more likely to die from any cause than those who eat the least, while a high intake of plant-based oils was linked to better health. Oh, that's it for the headlines.